a statement to make. So think about this. It's 1985. In 1985, you have double-digit interest rate. You have no internet, no computer, no social media. We're doing things the old-fashioned way. We don't have a pager. So if you can go from that to internet to social media, what's the one thing that was consistent? You as an individual doing things the right way. And as we get technology, now we're on a podcast. And we're all over the world. But here's the key. What value do I bring to the transaction? Why should you use me? And I tell everyone this question. Ask this question to yourself. Would I work with me?
I love that. Look in the camera, Ennis, and say that one more time.
Would I work with me? It's a question you ask yourself. What value do I bring to that transaction?
Welcome to the BOOMLENNIAL podcast, hosted by the dynamic duo cousins, Chee and Dee. This podcast celebrates the synergy between a millennial and a baby boomer, showcasing the fusion of generational leadership, insights, and real-life experiences.
We'll unveil strategies not to just survive, but thrive as leaders in an ever-evolving world. Let's ignite the transformation we inspire to see in ourselves, our teams, and our businesses. Let's get started.
What's up, family? Welcome back to the podcast where real talk meets real moves. This is the BOOMLENNIAL podcast, your front row seat to everything on entrepreneurship, business leadership, and real estate. I'm your girl, Chee.
And I'm Dee, and trust you're going to want to stay locked in today. We're going to get into breaking barriers, the rise of KW West Atlanta, a conversation that's not just about real estate, but about building a legacy, leadership, and leveling up.
Before we get started, Dee, I wanted to take a moment to thank you all for rocking with us over this past year. So whether you've been watching us on YouTube or checking us out on Instagram, that means the world to us.
And if you've been inspired by what you've heard from me or Chee, please you want to bring that BOOMLENNIAL energy to your conversation, your event, or your organization, please don't hesitate to reach out to us via our website, www.boomlennialpodcast.us, or slide into our DMs. That's the easy way. And also, you can find me on Instagram at Deonna's Dream Properties.
You can find me on Instagram at Angela, the Pro Partner.
Now, let's get into the show. Now, family, we honored to have a heavy hitter with us today. An industry leader, a visionary who has shifted the culture at KW Atlanta West. Chee, would you introduce our guest today?
Absolutely. Family. Ennis Antoine is our guest, and he is a powerhouse in real estate education and leadership, blending political savvy with a deep commitment to empowering the next generation of real estate professionals. As a certified instructor teaching across Georgia, Ennis doesn't just train agents, he molds high performers. His approach is personal, precise, and always up to date, earning him a reputation as the go-to mentor for those serious about success. As the federal political coordinator for Congressional Davis Scott and a key player on NAR's Federal Legislative and Political Forum, Ennis is not just influencing classrooms, he's shaping real estate policy on Capitol Hill. His impact has earned him introductions into Realtors Political Action Committee, Hall of Fame, and the prestigious FPC Meritorious Award. With accolades that span continents, Ennis is a global force in real estate. He holds the elite certified international property specialist designation. We call that the CIPS, and making him among only 3,500 professionals worldwide trusted to navigate international markets. Ennis has graced the pages of RIS Media and the Atlanta Business Chronicle. As a real estate trailblazer, Ennis is the only instructor that I know that can actually make the Code of Ethics class not only informative, but fun. He actually is the past president of the Atlanta Board of Realtors, or is honored as whether he's the past president as the Atlanta Board of Realtors or being honored at the Atlanta Business League. One thing is clear. As the managing broker of Keller Williams West Atlanta, Ennis Antoine is not just building careers, he's building legacies. Family, help me give a warm welcome to the talented, take charge, taking it to the top, Ennis Antoine. Welcome to the show.
Well, that was a heck of an introduction.
Really? I'm like, what she's talking
You
about?
done a lot of things.
Yes.
And as we know, so I'll ask the first question.
Okay.
So you are one of the first Black professionals to be on the board for the Atlanta Realtors Association,
Okay.
right? So what barriers did you have to break through? And then how do you think diversity and leadership played into that?
Well, first of all, thank you guys for having me on your show.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're
I'm excited to be
welcome.
here, and thank you for that wonderful introduction.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So, being the first African American president at the Atlanta Board of Realtors was a challenge that I was willing to take on. Because when I joined the board, I had a great mentor who says, hey, you have too much talent, and we want to see you there. But the challenge is, being the first of anything, you're carrying the entire race on your back. And what I realized is, if I'm going to sit in this role, I have to do it the correct way. If I mess up, it's going to damage the opportunity for anybody who looks like me to even sit in that seat. Second, there was a lot of individuals who was a little concerned because they're not accustomed to dealing with somebody who's not in their spheres of influence.
Of course.
And so I had to just take the road that, one, I have to change Ennis. I can't have the same mindset I had before I got there. Two, what is the long-term goal? Is to make sure that, one, that leadership looks like all the members that we serve. If I'm going to be the first one in that role, I have to do it correctly. I have to change Ennis. I have to make an adjustment, and I cannot quit.
That's right.
Despite what challenges I face, I was not going to quit.
I love it. Resilience.
Resilience. I love it.
Absolutely.
And so you took that role, and now you are the managing broker at KWS.
That's correct.
So now that organization has been apart for about 2 years, tell us, we know it's the fastest growing Keller Williams office in Atlanta, minority owned, with 302 agents.
Correct.
So what's the secret sauce? How are you guys attracting such talented real estate professionals?
Because we have a visionary who's the OP in Gabby Maddox. We have a very strong team leader in Ray Duvall. And Gabby had the vision saying that, one, we have to show everyone that we care. It's about collaboration, it's about culture, and it's about leadership. And we all have the same vision. If anybody comes to Keller Williams West Atlanta, they're going to feel right at home. We're going to collaborate, we're going to teach, and we're going to nudge.
That's right. That's right.
Because we want everybody to grow, because if you're comfortable, you're not going to grow.
That's right. And I will say, every time I come over to y'all's office, I get the big nudge.
Yes.
But also, I am left with, nuggets of information, motivation, more in tune with my clientele. So you guys do a great job at educating, motivating, and just providing information for folks. So I appreciate that, because I'm a visiting real estate professional.
Correct. And anybody who comes in that office, we got to feed them meat and potatoes,
Right.
not just milk. So when you walk in, you see people authentically care about everyone that's in that office.
Yes. And I love the depth of your office.
Correct.
Yeah. Well, I just want to sort of piggyback on that because I am a part of the KW West Atlanta office. And from the moment you walk through the door, you really do feel the love, the connection, and this collaboration we truly have. We like winning, so we have a competitive, environment, but it truly is a competitiveness where we celebrate each other, wins, and I just love it. And that's what families do. You want to strive to be your best, but you want to celebrate.
That's correct.
And we ride on each other's synergy. If somebody is maybe not having a great month, we put it out there who is, so that we can celebrate that, and then that sort of is infectious. Yeah.
That's right.
So I wanted to ask you, Ennis, is what's the boldest move you've made in your career that paid off big?
The boldest move was probably when I decided to come out of sales
Okay.
and go into leadership. And if anybody's in sales, you know you make a lot more money in sales versus being in leadership.
Right.
But I have a calling on my life that the Lord has blessed me with the ability to train, motivate, and lead. And so to take a step back from sales and to go into leadership, I say, oh, Lord, are you sure about this?
Right now?
But what it happens is it changed my entire life, because when I took the leadership role, I found myself growing beyond just the office.
Awesome.
I found myself growing at a state level and at a national level. And now I have followers who follows because they want to be fed every single day. Because every morning when I post, it has to be something that's going to help somebody grow. If I'm not helping people grow, I need to walk away.
That is awesome. And we have a running joke around the office because Ennis posts so much that we're just sort of convinced you've got a double or something going around, because it's like, how can he be at all these places? But you said you have a national presence, but aren't you in international waters? Don't you do international training too, Ennis?
I do international training. And in fact, I'm going out on this Friday to Colombia to do some training in Colombia. I spent 20 days in China, Beijing, and Shanghai, and I did some training there with their association. So I've been fortunate to internationally known to rock the microphone.
Oh, kid,
We love that.
Right, yeah. And a few of our agents are actually going to Colombia. I'm only not going on this because I've got to go on my book club is having our 10-year anniversary trip. We're only going to, well, I shouldn't say it only, but we're not going to Colombia, but we are going to Panama City Beach.
So
but
tough.
keep me in mind,
I
you know,
will.
because I've got flying privileges through my son, okay? And because I want to go international with you. And one of the things at Ennis, and we have another powerful player in our office, and that's, you know, our godfather. Merle, yes. One of the things that they encourage us is to go and take CE courses other places, not just here, because that's how you can build your network and referral base. And I never thought of that. So we just get even good nuggets like that, you know, so it pays to be in the room at Keller Williams. It does pay. So Ennis, what, now I want to correct something that Dionna said. She said we're the fastest growing agency in Atlanta. Is that the only? I mean, aren't we?
No, ma'am.
I thought so.
We're the fastest growing in Keller Williams Southeast region.
Oh, excuse me. That's big.
That's big.
That's really big.
It really is. And I just wanted to, I didn't want to play that because we have an amazing leadership, and that teamwork makes the dream work, and it's working.
I am so happy for y'all.
Well,
Yes.
So very happy.
Thank you. So I wanted to ask that, what do you think that we do at Keller Williams West a little different from other brokerages? Because I know that you've been in the business, you know, so long, that really is attributing to the success that we're having with our growth.
It's our core belief system.
Yes.
Because in sales, it's independent. Everybody is fighting to get the slice of the pie. But truly at Keller Williams West Atlanta, when you walk in, you're going to feel the love. It's like going to grandma's house. You walk in, and the love overwhelms the entire room. We have leadership team that our goal is, one, what can we help each individual do to grow their business? The training is like no other place you've ever been before. We're only going to bring in top-notch trainers because we want to feed the agents, make sure they grow, and keep them in compliance.
Yes. And Ennis is very big on compliance.
I am very big on compliance.
Look, I don't think it's whenever we're having a meeting, somebody may say something and we say, oh, can't say that. Or Ennis is back there, you know, like.
That's good.
Because he's going to tell us, and even if it's a thought, an idea that we might be thinking, we run it by him so that he can tell us, it might not be that it's a bad idea, but it's maybe a better way we have to present it.
That's correct.
Okay, yes.
And just like, you know, like you said, it's such a family organization and feel. It's just like your mama says. I'd rather for you to make the mistake at home with us than
outside.
out in the street. So that's good.
Absolutely. And we do have a lot of that. We sort of get our, you're not going to say that, or we're not going to write those on those contracts.
Right.
But Ennis is definitely there to keep us in shape. But I actually had a question yesterday. I called you on the phone and asked him about something, because at first I was like, I'm scared to even tell him, can I even do this? But he gave me the language of how to word it on the contract. So,
Good.
and it only took him maybe 10 minutes to call me back.
Right.
So he's very accessible.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
But the goal
awesome.
is, is when you teach with love, when you coach with love, sometimes you're going to hear a conversation you don't want to hear. But it's only out of the love of that person to grow. Because if I continue to say, oh, it's okay, I become an enabler.
Right.
But when you come to me, let's talk about scenarios and what's best to get this problem solved. And if you made a mistake, how can we learn from that and not make that same mistake again?
Right.
You know, another secret sauce that I feel that our office does have, Ennis, and you may want to sort of chime in on that, is we are open about spirituality.
Yes.
You know, in our office, the motto that the leadership has set to is God first and family.
That's correct.
And then it's work. And with that, that gives us a mindset that we serve a limitless God. So we don't have to be all tight and stabbing each other, because there's enough for everybody to eat.
There is, because every Wednesday morning at 7:30, Miss Doherty,
Yes.
which is Gabby's grandmother, she does a powerful Bible study at 7:30, gives you scriptures. Every fourth Thursday, we have Andrew Dawley, who does Bible study. And so here's the thing. You have to have a belief system. And not just have that belief system, you have to nurture that belief system and believe in it, or you're not going to grow, because we all are human.
That's right.
And so to have God first, family second, and then business. When you're in line with that, you can't help but be successful.
That's right.
That's the sauce.
I love that, and we truly live that, and it is definitely it's evident when you walk through the door. It
Yeah,
is.
I always feel the love. So, Ennis, for new and seasoned agents,
Okay.
what's one thing you believe every agent should master in order to be successful in today's market?
Every agent should master first being consistent. We had a training this morning, and I heard a lot of excuses. And so when I stood up, I said, what I've heard today was excuses. It's a mindset, because you are in sales, and every single day I need to get up for 2 hours per day and prospect. And prospecting means I'm going to reach out to somebody in my database to get an appointment, to get face-to-face with that person. You never stop prospecting in this industry. What are you doing? Open houses? What are you doing? Caravans? What are you doing? Phone calls, door knocking. The goal here is you have to prospect 2 hours per day, 5 days a week. If you put 10 hours of prospecting in, it should generate leads. You got to get out of your comfort level. You got to be consistent, and you got to have a positive mindset. And I told a group today, do not be the smartest person in your group. Get in the group where you're not the smartest. If you are the smartest, you're not growing.
That's right. I love
Agreed.
that.
Agreed.
That is powerful. That is
Now,
really powerful.
Since you've traveled both domestic and international, what's one thing that you've seen in the real estate industry that you would want to change?
I think the biggest challenge is let's stop chasing the bag and bring back the integrity. Do it the right way.
Yeah.
Because you have individual own homeowners, you build wealth through home ownership. Let's educate, let's teach, let's train, and the money will come afterwards.
Yeah. And you know, since I mainly am in the commercial space, even some people think, oh, business people are the smartest people in the world.
Correct.
But I can't tell you how many times I have clients who have, leased a space or bought a building and didn't know how to keep it because they
Right.
weren't educated on how to run the business effectively.
Right.
And so I say that to say that's a good point, because no matter where you are, commercial, residential, we don't educate our clients the way we should.
That's correct.
Or we don't take the time,
take the
right?
time.
Because we're on to the next. To your point, we're chasing the bag.
Right.
We're trying to get to the next transaction. We're trying to get through this transaction to get to the next transaction. And so sometimes I think part of how I try to, I guess, position myself or my value prop is that, I have been an entrepreneur. I have been a business owner. I still am a business owner. And so I can give those nuggets of things that work and maybe didn't work and try to help people build their confidence in that entrepreneur space or business ownership. So I'm sure on the residential side, similar.
Well, absolutely. Well, the one thing is you never want to be a one-hit wonder in real estate.
Correct.
So you want to take the time to make sure you're doing follow-up with clients because that's where your referrals can come from. That's your biggest, if you're a testimony from a very satisfied customer can, speak volumes for you and help you grow your business. Yeah. So
I got a statement to make. So think about this. It's 1985. In 1985, you have double-digit interest rate. You have no internet, no computer, no social media. We're doing things the old-fashioned way. We don't have a pager. So if you can go from that to internet to social media, what's the one thing that was consistent? You as an individual doing things the right way. And as we get technology, now we're on a podcast. And we're all over the world. But here's the key. What value do I bring to the transaction? Why should you use me? And I tell everyone this question. Ask this question to yourself. Would I work with me?
I love that. Look in the camera, Ennis, and say that one more time.
Would I work with me? It's a question you ask yourself. What value do I bring to that transaction?
That's right.
That's powerful, and that's really good. And I want to segue to this, Ennis. We definitely, you all were talking about chasing the bag. So we certainly believe in rise and grind here at the BOOMLENNIAL podcast. Yet we also believe in the importance of protecting the asset, and we're the asset.
We are.
So what do you do for self-care or to revive and keep yourself refreshed?
I am the biggest kid in the world. I love baseball. So the Atlanta Braves is my escape.
Okay.
Now, I missed the day game today because I made a commitment to be here.
Oh,
Okay.
So now,
We need to give him some tickets.
oh my gosh, thank you. Oh wow.
but really the goal is you have to do what you enjoy.
That's right.
And you have to just step away. And I tell everyone, when you're not selling, learn to be present. Whether you have a family or
Absolutely.
a pet, give them your undivided attention. Stop just chasing and being so busy. Put it down. Turn it off. Because the world is not going to end if you turn off that telephone. Exercise, study, read the word, and enjoy what you enjoy, and be present. That way you can continue to go long haul.
Yep.
I love that. And I just love we were just having this conversation yesterday about if you are in a field and of course, you want to make sure you're earning money to provide your family with a great quality of life, but you have to be so careful that it's not at the expense of your family because they can then become, begrudging of your career. Because I remember my parents, they were PKs, and that happened to them with their father being a pastor and always being there for everybody else, and they felt it slighted. And a lot of them shunned going to church for so long. And they had to be, like you say, the renewing of the mind. But we have to be so intentional about that as parents, that the people that are closest to us, they've got to have us they deserve our best.
They do.
They deserve our best.
And you deserve your best.
Absolutely.
Live
I
your
like
best
that.
life.
I love that.
I love it.
So now I want to ask you this. So what legacy do you hope to leave behind in the real estate industry, and how do you want to be remembered?
That's a great question. So basically, if you ever go to a funeral, they're talking about there's a birth and there's a end date.
Right.
But in the middle is the dash.
Correct.
And in that dash, I want to say that one thing about Ennis Antoine, if he said he's going to do it, he done it, and he helped grow individuals, not just how to get to fish, but how to fish.
That's right.
And feed yourself. And then secondly, you give back to the community. Because not everybody is as fortunate as we are.
That's right.
To whom much is given, much is required. So are you giving time back to those to teach those that are less fortunate? It's not a handout. It's a hand up.
Absolutely.
And one of my biggest things is I love to get back to, so I do Habitat for Humanity.
Okay.
Or I do Open Hands, which I deliver Meals on Wheels. Because the goal is, it's amazing how when you go out there and you take time out for yourself and you help somebody else grow and you have a conversation with them and they grow. And when I teach a real estate class and I watch I call them babies, I know they're adults. Or when I watch a brand new student get that real estate license and I glow they have in their eyes, and then they make that first $1 million club and they call you and say, hey, I've done it because of you. I'm the one who won, knowing about let my light shine, helping people grow, and giving back to the community. That's the legacy. We're here to make other lives better.
That's
Isn't
right.
that awesome?
Oh,
Can't
yeah.
you see him getting to the pearly gates and God looking back and says, okay, people thinking, well, how many Mercedes-Benz did you drive? How many Teslas? Or is he going to actually say, how many people did you help along the way?
That's right.
And look at the legacy of people that Ennis is going to be able to have an account.
Harvest is plenty, but the labors are few.
That's
right.
amazing.
That is
That's
true.
amazing. One of the things that you had mentioned about giving is I think that's sort of why all of us are sort of connected with Keller Williams because this company is big, believes in giving back to the community. And so much so, we're getting ready to have
Red
a
Day.
Red Day. Well, can you share with our viewers what that's all about?
So on May the 8th, Keller Williams nationwide is going to shut down the office, and we're all giving back some organization to help give back to the community. We're doing Atlanta Mission here in Atlanta. And the goal is, one, let's give back to the community. Let's give hope to someone else and do it with the right intent.
That's right.
Not to be on camera, but actually giving back that you're changing other person's lives.
I love it.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's great. And what are we doing again now?
The Atlanta Mission.
Okay.
Downtown.
That is wonderful. So stay tuned. And that date was May 8th?
May 8th.
Yep. So listeners and viewers, if on May 8th, if you see, this is going to be all around the U.S. So look out for those red shirts. Those are going to be Keller Williams agents and their leadership teams going and volunteer at various organizations around your cities.
Correct.
Well, that's wonderful. That's wonderful.
Ennis and Chee, do you know what that sound means? It's time for our ATL segment. Ask the leaders.
Okay, this segment is actually comes straight out of our profit box where you, one of our committed listeners, have actually written into the show to ask us your question, your burning question. So who do we have today, Dee?
Let's see. Our profit box is full. We're making all kind of profits. Okay, so this comes from Juanita in Mableton, Georgia. Dear Chee and Dee, I absolutely love your show. The two of you are a perfect blend of wisdom and wit, true examples of girl power. Thanks, girl.
Thank girl.
I've noticed that many influential leaders are avid readers, often crediting a particular book to shaping their mindset or their leadership journey. What's one book that is profoundly influenced by your thinking, leadership style, or business approach? And why does it resonate with you?
Great question. Great question. For me, it's the compound effect. And with the compound effect, what it does is it tells you that your daily activity determines your outcome in the future. It's small little steps you take every single day. Because everyone thinks that, wow, I got to do this big thing. No, it's your daily activities. What you do today determines your future tomorrow.
That's right.
The compound effect.
I love it.
And I've read that book too, and it is powerful.
Yes.
Because I think the essence of it is what small tweaks can lead to small tweaks can lead to big peaks, something like that,
That's
right?
correct. That's
so
correct.
It was great. Do you have a book, Dee, that has sort of changed your life or helped you reshape a mindset?
I recently went back to Grit, and that's a good leadership book, and it just really talked about talent versus essentially the grit or the work you put into what you do.
Right.
So I love it for that. I went to it because I felt I was lacking in some areas, and so I wanted to kind of refresh myself and remind myself of the grit that I have within me. So I actually kind of dust that one off the shelf recently.
Okay.
Angela, I can't remember her last name, but I'll figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, for me, mine is I actually do love the compound effect too. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Yes. That was when I sort of first got introduced the importance of affirmations. And so I actually live by affirmations, now. When I am saying my affirmations, though, I add something to it. It's like what I am something, but then I'm asking God for, if I'm going to be blessed with something I'm asking for, this is what you can expect I will give back, what I'm going to do when I do get this.
Oh, nice. Nice. I love that. Yeah. And I do affirmations with my girl. I have 2 young girls, Ennis, and so I do affirmations with my girls, and that's kind of our quiet time and prayer time. But I think it's important to speak in existence what you want.
And I would also say you should take time out to look at the Bible. And here's a challenge I have for all of you. Go to Proverbs. There's 31 chapters in Proverbs. Read a chapter per day. It's going to convict you and have you right. So that's Proverbs. So there's 31 chapters in Proverbs. Read a chapter per day a couple of times and watch how you find yourself changing eternally.
That's great. Because Proverbs is known as the wisdom literature, right?
It is.
So not only are you going to feel right, but you're going to feel wiser.
Yes.
So I love that. I love it. Well, thank you. That was what, Miss Juanita?
Yes.
Yeah, well, thank you for that powerful question, Juanita. And for all of you out there who've got beaming questions, burning questions about business, leadership, or real estate, please don't hold back.
That's right, Chee. Drop your questions. Email us at cheeandee@gmail.com. So Chee, SCHEEANDEE @gmail.com. And you might hear your question on our next episode. While you're at it, make sure you follow us. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on your YouTube channel. Subscribe to the BOOMLENNIAL podcast. Follow us everywhere. Facebook, Instagram. Trust me, you do not want to miss an episode. When I tell you we have grown, Chee, and we have gotten bigger and better in 2025, so I don't want you to miss any episodes of this show.
Well, great. So, Ennis, you didn't just bring the fire, you lit up the BOOMLENNIAL stage today. So thank you so much for just sharing all of your business, real estate industry mastery. We really appreciate the value that you brought to the podcast today.
No, thank both of you for having me because, for one, you're doing the good work.
Thank you.
And don't stop, because there are folks that may not ever respond, but they need to hear the word.
Okay.
To carry them through. And I found this an honor just to be here to spend time with the both of you. And congratulations on this wonderful podcast.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. That's so heartfelt.
And I needed to hear that because I look at the analytics and I'm like, oh my God, I need more people to engage. So you better engage with us next time. But thank you, because that was refreshing to know that we are doing the right thing.
Correct.
Absolutely. So we're going to stay the course, because we're going to take another of one of your instructions. That's be consistent, right?
Be consistent.
And we're going to be consistent. We're going to be patient, but we're going to keep forging forward.
That's right.
And continue to add value.
And family, if you were inspired today by any of the conversation, please reach out to Chee or myself for your next speaking engagement, panel discussion, corporate gathering. We would be happy to be a part of that. Head over to our website, www.boomlennialpodcast.us, or slide into the DM of the podcast on IG.
You want to give them your handle again?
Oh, you can follow me on Instagram, Deanna's Dream Properties.
And again, I am at Angela, the Pro Partner. Now, listen up. I don't care what you have to do. Set those reminders, set your timers. Remember, we drop a new episode of the BOOMLENNIAL podcast on the 2nd and 4th Tuesday of the month at 8 p.m. Central Time. So please tune in, watch us, subscribe, support us, tell all your family and friends about us.
That's right. Tap in to our next full, powerful, purpose-led episode. We're bringing the heat, the heart, and the hustle every single time.
Wow. So until next time,
Shine bright and do business right.
Bye.